At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability, ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Crew Travel right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Rhea. I am your host, and I'm very pleased to welcome back Lee Harris from ATPI Travel. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. All good here. Yeah, busy, but good. So can't complain.
Yeah, we keep pushing this show back a day. Who knows? We might end up right back at the beginning at some stage.
We'll be back to Sunday before you know it.
Yeah, 6 years ago, we started on a Sunday, and then it went to Monday, then Tuesday, now it's Wednesday. 6 years from now.
It's just keeping people on their toes, keeping it fresh. That's what it is, Rhea.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
right.
What we do is we just keep delaying it, and people get excited, and it just builds up that excitement levels. Then when it finally hits.
Yeah, they're so excited about the travel news.
What is not to get excited about travel news?
Especially when the first item at the top usually is some strike action.
Yeah, that is. And funnily enough, this week it's the same. Yeah, all tomorrow's flights from Liège and Brussels airports in Belgium have been cancelled as a result of nationwide strikes. Strikes are taking place across the country in response to government pension reform plans, with air traffic controller Skis one of the affected organisations. Now, a Liège airport spokesperson has confirmed that there would be no takeoffs or landings on the 13th of February. So that's 0 flight operations tomorrow, they have confirmed. Brussels Airport have also said that due to the national demonstration on the 13th of February and the announced strike by the air traffic controllers, the Belgian airspace will be closed and no airspace travel will be possible over Belgium on that day from 6:45 a.m. in the morning to 10:15 p.m. at night. Now, all arriving flights at Brussels Airport are also cancelled during those hours, while departing flights are cancelled all day. Charleroi Airport in the south of Brussels has also announced it will cancel all flights on Thursday to ensure safe operations. Now, as is the case, it's not just going to be Belgium that's going to be affected, the Belgian airports. Obviously, with the airspace being closed over the skies of Belgium, other flights will be either delayed, rerouted, or cancelled. So anyone travelling tomorrow that is likely to go through Belgian airspace or even European airspace, check in with your airline or your travel provider.
Unbelievable. Yeah, because things like that, they always have a knock-on effect.
Yeah, they do.
It's like dominoes.
Yeah, exactly right. And for whatever reason, like we've said before, it's normally the French air traffic controllers and airports and airlines that strike. But Belgium are rapidly catching them up because that's about the third one they've had in the last sort of 3 or 4 months.
UK is pretty good at it too, though.
They are. Certainly are.
Speaking of the UK, Southampton Airport has some news.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So passengers using Southampton Airport are being advised to allow more time for their trips for several months as new security scanners are installed. Now, once fully operational, the next generation scanners will allow travellers to keep electronic devices such as laptops in their hand baggage during screening. Obviously, this will significantly improve convenience and streamline the security experience. That's according to the airport. However, a statement has said that as work continues over the next several months, passengers are advised to allow extra time for their journeys. Normal security preparation procedures will remain in place while the installation progresses. Now, again, whilst the work is ongoing and likely it's going to be through until the end of this year, we here at ATPI would suggest travellers add an extra hour onto their arrival time at the airport to try to mitigate any delays.
I have to admit, my son, when he travels to see his father in Germany, the amount of electronic equipment that he takes with him, he's pulling out those headsets, he's got a Nintendo game thing, and he's got it's just like electronics coming out of every corner. And it takes him quite a while to get it all pulled out and put on the conveyor belt, and then on the other end, all put back in.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot. It always makes me laugh because they try and tell you to be organised before you get there, but I'm not quite sure how many people can hold about 5 or 6 different electronic devices at one time. And then on top of that, their 100 ml liquids as well that have got to be put somewhere else, plus their bags. It's not that easy. You are likely to get quite a significant backlog of people.
Guaranteed. And Hong Kong Airlines has some news.
Yeah, so Sydney Airport is set to welcome its second Hong Kong-based carrier following Cathay Pacific, with Hong Kong Airlines to launch its inaugural daily services between Hong Kong and Sydney on the 20th of June 2025. This new service increases daily flights between the two cities from 5 to 6 and boosts seat capacity on the route by up to 20%. Now, the arrival of Hong Kong Airlines follows the recent expansion of bilateral air traffic rights between Hong Kong and Australia, the first in nearly 2 decades. Now, the arrival of Hong Kong Airlines increases the number of carriers operating at Sydney Airport to a record 52 airlines. This gives crew travelling to and from the yacht more choice to decide best route and cost for their needs when travelling to and from the South Pacific.
Wonderful. And carry-on luggage.
Yeah, so a recent study has collated people's top tips for what to pack in your cabin luggage, essentially essentials to take on board with you when you travel. Now, while most items are obvious choices that the majority of passengers would pack, there are a couple on the list that I myself hadn't thought of or don't actually take with me. So without further ado, the top 5 items that people have said passengers should pack are as follows. Number 1 is quite an obvious one to start with, but a travel adapter. Handy, not just if you are to charge your devices on the flight, but obviously wherever you are traveling to. Also, number 2 is one I don't actually carry with me, which is a first aid travel kit. This one is one, like I said, I've never packed, but it can hold antibacterial wipes, plasters, and antibiotic ointment. Just remember, though, it has to keep under the 100 ml rule, otherwise it will be confiscated. Number 3 is lip balm and skin moisturizer. So low humidity and high altitude has a serious drying effect on the skin, and as such is imperative to moisturize that to prevent painful cracks and cuts. And number 4, again, one I don't take with me, is a reusable water bottle. Although water is offered on board, you could have quite a wait whilst the crew get round to serving you. Bringing your own water bottle on board will make it easier to keep hydrated for longer. This will also allow flight stewards to fill it with more water than normal than otherwise might be offered. And obviously number 5, again, which I hadn't thought of, is prescription medication. For any passengers who have and use prescription medication, these should never be placed in your checked luggage. If your checked luggage was lost, you could be without essential medication for a prolonged period of time. Obviously, in rare instances, it could be fatal if you don't have it. Those were the top 5, but other essential items that people were surveyed and mentioned were antibacterial wipes, obviously to wipe down surfaces which might not necessarily be as clean as you would like. Comfortable headphones, again, the ones that are given to you on board are not the best and probably not the cleanest, even though they say they're brand new. Snacks, gums, and sweets, that's to help the ears for when you land and take off. A light jacket, that's to keep the chilliness at bay, because the flights can get quite cold mid-flight, especially at that time. So if you don't want to use the blankets that are provided, make sure you take a light jacket. A toiletry bag, goes without saying, to keep your teeth nice and clean. You don't want to be breathing on people with your dragon breath. And finally, a power bank for electronic gadgets. That's especially if you're not using the in-flight entertainment. You want to make sure your electronic gadgets are fully charged for the duration of your travel, especially if you're on a long international flight.
See, have you seen the passengers that we see flying nowadays? I think some of them even forget their trousers, let alone thinking about all the other stuff.
I know, indeed. It's a bit of an eye-opener on some flights. Yeah, certain routes do attract certain people, shall we say. Not trying to sound too harsh at all, but it's true. So, yeah. But anyway, they are the top tips for what to take with you. And obviously your trousers, don't forget those.
Yes, trousers are important. Do you know what? I'm going to be heading off to Canada at the end of August, and it's going to be something that I have to remember my kid.
Yeah, don't forget your child either. I'm sure airport staff will remind you regularly if you do try and leave them behind.
Yeah. He does have a different last name than me, so I could maybe get away with it.
You might just play dumb. Just play dumb. I know.
Who's that?
Yeah. No idea what you're talking about. Never seen him before in my life.
And he's got a British passport, and I have a Canadian one. Come on.
There you go. You've got it now. Yeah. You'll be fine.
Yeah. God, he would kill me if he listened to this. But he doesn't, so we're good.
That's good.
Lee, I want to say to everybody out there, if you have any questions for Lee in regards to travel, please do feel free to get a hold of him. All of his information is below this interview when it airs. And I want to say thank you for once again showing up like you said you would.
2 weeks in a row. Look at that.
Wow. So excited.
Let's see if we can make it free.
You, though, you have to admit it is always you.
Oh, it's always me. 100% is me. You are always here and on time, Rhea.
I have been known to be 5 minutes late, and I've let you know why.
You have, indeed. Yeah. Not 24 hours late like me.
Anyway, once again, thank you. You've been watching another edition of Crew Travel right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Rhea, and on behalf of Lee Harris and myself, we'll see you again next week.